Congratulations on the jacket. You've been in the news.
Thank you. And it's a good time to talk to everyone. And the thanks has to go to the Prime Minister, right? Because if not for him wearing the jacket, I don't think I'd be talking to you.
Yes, definitely. So I'll just come straight to the point. So how did you get this idea of manufacturing sustainable garments?
So we were manufacturers of recycled polyester, and we've been doing that for the last 15 years. So we recycle post-consumer PET bottles, like these water bottles is what we recycle, and that we make it into polyester fiber. So that fiber is then converted to yarn to fabric, and fabric to garments. So we were in the entire value chain prior to starting this brand. So we were, doing up to the garment stage, and we realized that why not we launch our own brand and take this message of sustainable fashion all across India, because India was not really receptive to sustainability as much as it is in the Europe as well as in US. Europe especially is extremely sensitive to sustainability, and they welcome such people. India is at a very nascent stage when it comes to sustainability. So we thought it's a good point to start this brand, bring about awareness, and make people embrace sustainable fashion, because that way, a lot of energy that is getting used in the value chain will be reduced greatly. As you know, textile uses a lot of resources. The value chain uses a lot of resources. So we thought, sensitizing the public on this aspect will bring about a change. So that's what that was the idea behind starting the brand. And now it has got a lot of prominence post, the biggest endorsement from the Prime Minister himself. And it's nice to get an encouraging by the senior most statesman in the country, because he has not only realized that he's not only sent a green message to the globe, but he's also inspired an MSME entrepreneur from a place like Karur to be seen by everyone. I think without saying a single word, doing that by his action is quite remarkable and extremely humbling.
That's really nice, sir. And how did you manufacture this jacket? If I would want to know the procedure, the process about it. So how was the jacket manufactured?
Once you use these PET bottles, you throw it, and that goes to a rack picker. The rack picker picks it up, and he gives it to mandis, where our suppliers go and take these bottles. So our suppliers compress these bottles in the form of bales, because it's cheaper to transport in a compressed form. Also, it's easy for us to process. So those bales come to us in our factory. It is sorted. The first stage is sorting, where we remove the caps and we remove the labels. Why? Because only the bottle, which is polyethylene terephthalate, PET, only that can become polyester. That is a product that can be used in textiles. The cap or the wrapper cannot be made into textiles. So we separate all of that. That's called a sorting process. After the sorting, we crush them. We crush them in the form of flakes. Okay, it looks like cornflakes. So imagine a bottle getting crushed in the form of a cornflake. That is how it looks. So we call it flakes. And these flakes are then recycled in a then stage process, where all the dirt and all the other organic, inorganic content gets removed. So it's basically washed and dried, in layman terms. And those dirty flakes become clean flakes. And these flakes are then converted to fiber. They are manufactured into fiber by drying, by melting it at 300 degrees Celsius, by forming a fiber that is smaller than the human hair in diameter, and that is finished by way of stretching, annealing, crimping, drying, cutting, and packing. So this is what happens from bottle to fiber. This is the most critical step of the entire value chain of recycled polyester, because it's not so easy to convert bottles to fiber. It requires a lot of technology, a lot of process knowledge, a lot of chemical engineering, polymer engineering knowledge is required. Once it becomes recycled polyester fiber, then it takes the conventional route that the textile value chain takes, where it is sent to a spinning mill, converted to yarn. That yarn is then sent to knitting for it to be converted to fabric. We use a circular knitting machine to convert the yarn to fabric. That fabric is again in turn based on the customer specification. It is cut it is sewn, which is using a sewing machine. Then it is ironed and packed and then shipped to the consumer. So this is largely the process.
How did you get him to wear the jacket?
So we didn't get him to wear the jacket. He chose it himself. I don't think it's right for us to say that, but we gave him options. That we can say. So Indian Oil Corporation, see, we've been working with a lot of corporates in the last year or so. All these MNCs who had these ESG goals, right? Environment, social and governance goals. They were tying up with us for their environment needs. Like, for example, they'll have an event and they would want t-shirts made out of PET bottles to show their stakeholders that they are actually pro-environment, pro-sustainability and all that. So that's how Indian Oil Corporation got to know about us. And we are also the only company in India which recycles from bottle to garment, end to end. We do every part of the manufacturing ourselves. We don't have, we are not like piece-wise, right? We do only fiber or only garment. It's not like that. We do everything. So that way they found us to have a lot of strength. And Indian Oil had approached us for this event at Bangalore, the India Energy Week.
Yeah.
Prior to that, about 4 months prior to that, we had presented, the same jacket in Chandan color to the Honorable Petroleum Minister, Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri. And he wore it and he liked it a lot. And so he came up with this idea. IOCL had gone to him saying that, why don't we do this to the Prime Minister, present him something of the same sort. So, but then with the PMO, you have a lot of protocol, right? So we were working with IOCL continuously for 2-3 months, sending them fabrics of different options, iterating continuously. And the PMO was, I think they were very clear about the kind of fabric that goes into, his wardrobe.
আমাদের ভিডিও ভালো লাগলে লাইক এবং শেয়ার করুন, কমেন্ট সেকশনে গিয়ে জানান আপনাদের মতামত। আরও ভিডিও পেতে আমাদের চ্যানেল সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন এবং প্রতি মুহূর্তে খবরের আপডেট পেতে প্রেস করুন বেল আইকন।